SEO didn't die. It changed underneath you, and most founders won't notice until their pipeline quietly dries up. What changed is simple. ChatGPT is now at 900 million weekly users, and your buyers are asking it instead of Googling. They type, "What's the best tool for X?" and they get one answer, naming a few companies. If you're not one of them, you don't exist. It doesn't matter that you rank number 1 on Google, your buyer never saw Google. This is the biggest shift in how people find software since search engines were invented, and almost nobody in B2B has adjusted for it yet, which, if you move now, is very good news for you. I'm John. I build and exit B2B SaaS companies. I work with the portfolio companies of funds like A16, YC, and many more, and my agency does exactly one thing: get B2B SaaS companies recommended by AI. And unlike most agency founders, I'm still the one in the trenches, not handling to a junior who's never built the software. So I'm going to give you actual strategy that's dominating search in 2026, the same system I use with the clients, and at the end, the one mistake that's about to waste a lot of people's time and money so you don't make it. So let's get into it. For 20 years, SEO was one game. Pick a keyword, rank as high as you can. The whole industry was built on getting someone to choose your blue link out of the list. That game is ending, and here's the proof. ChatGPT is at 900 million weekly active users as of this year, and according to recent study, 68% of the B2B buyers are using AI to make a purchase decision. That's not a chatbot people play with anymore. That's where your buyers research before they ever talk to sales. And it's not just ChatGPT. Google itself now puts an AI answer at the top of about half of all the searches, and AI overviews already reach over 2.5 billion people a month. So even when your buyers does use Google, more and more they read the AI summary and never scroll to your link. Sit with what that means. The click is dying. When AI answer the question direct, nobody clicks anything. There's nothing to optimize for click for. So ranking doesn't mean position 1 on a page anymore. Name of the game is your company getting mentioned whenever someone is searching for the best tools in your category or your competitor alternatives? This is the new search landscape you should be optimizing for, and this is exactly the strategy that I'm going to be talking about in this video. Now, your instinct here is probably to panic, but I'm here to tell you that this is the best opportunity in B2B marketing right now, and I'll tell you exactly why. First, it's wide open. Your competitors are still arguing about backlinks like it's 2015 and pouring money into ads that gets more expensive every quarter. Almost none of them have built AI search yet. That means that the slot for the company AI recommends in your category is sitting there empty. In SEO terms, this is blue ocean, and it closes the moment your competitors wake up. Second, let me kill 3 myths that I hear all the time. Myth number 1. AI search is only for big, late-stage companies. Well, AI doesn't care how big your funding or how big your revenues. It mainly cares about 2 things. 1, how good you're answering at the question. 2, whether you're also giving confidence to AI that other sources, and also mentioning that you are the best solution for your category. Let's say that you're competing in the project management space, and you have a good content focusing on the information gain score. You have good listicles that are articulating why you're a good project management software, and you're also being mentioned in the other sources that AI takes information from. This is what matters. It's not about your revenue or your funding. It's about your content and your brand combined together. So I'll give you an example of one of our clients, Warmly. They're competing in a very mature and saturated space and competing with the giants. But what they've done is they built an AI search system that helped them to take 33% of their whole pipeline from the AI search. Warmly is a great example that you don't need to have billions of dollars of revenue. You just need to do good content. Myth number 2. This takes forever to work. Well, this is also wrong. Traditional SEO took a year because you were waiting on Google to crawl, trust, and slowly promote you, and you build some backlinks. But AI models resample the web constantly. When you publish the right thing in the right place, you can start showing in answers in weeks, not in quarters. Next myth is you can't really influence what AI is saying about you because it's using its internal data and giving you answers. This is partially true for some of the prompts, usually the top of the funnel prompts that are easy to answer. It's not true for the bottom of the funnel prompts, like when a user is asking for the best tools or best alternatives to your competitors in your category. In those cases, AI is referring back to Google, Bing, LinkedIn, and many other different platforms, scraping what's already available there and giving you a response based on that. So the myth is debunked, and we can actually get into the strategy side of things. Now, the strategy consists 4 steps, and I'm going to give you a quick 4-step strategy that it can use to get your brand on top of the AI search as short as 90 days. This is a condensed version of the strategy that we use at House of Growth for our clients, and I will try to make it as easy as possible for you. The first part is targeting the prompts you can get visibility and get customers. A lot of you are targeting and tracking prompts that you can't really have visibility into. I'll tell you why. There are two types of prompts: grounded prompts and ungrounded prompts. Grounded prompts are when you ask a question to AI and then it comes back with a response based on the scrape it did on the external sources. Ungrounded prompts are when you ask a question and AI comes back to you without doing web search because it's using its own internal training data. You want to target grounded prompts because you want to identify where AI is pulling information from so that you can either become the resource or you get in visibility by injecting your brand into the conversations. Now, I'm going to bucket prompts into offensive and defensive. Offensive ones are going to help you with getting your brand in front of the new cold audience, and defensive ones are going to help you control the narrative for in-market buyers. With the offensive prompts, you want to target 3 different types. One is the competitor-focused prompts, where someone is searching for an alternative to your competitor, such as best alternatives to your competitor. And the category-related prompts is the second one, and in this time, your prospect is searching for the best tools in your category. For example, what are the best project management software if you're in the project management. And then the last one in this category is jobs to be none prompts. These are the prompts not necessarily about solutions or your competitors, but your prospects are searching for solutions to their problems. They don't know the name of the category, maybe they don't know about you, but they have their problem and they're searching it by using how to as a modifier. On the defensive side of the things, you have competitor comparisons. You want to make sure that you have pages on you versus all your competitors. So when your buyers are in the market and they go to ChatGPT to search you versus another competitor, AI will be trained on your content. If you don't do this, you might have sales calls where prospects are saying that, hey, I compared you with another competitor and it says that they're better because of XYZ reasons. And your sales rep is just like, well, these reasons are not true. Think about all the deals that you're losing because AI is recommending your competitor over you. Next, product integrations. You need to have pages about integrations that your product has and how to use them, so that when prospects are searching for things such as how to use your product with an integration, you have the correct information, that you're feeding AI with the correct information. Next, case studies. You want to have case studies, so when someone else is searching for what your company did on their verticals, and maybe it could be something like, show me if your company worked with a marketing agency, so that AI is picking up on your case study and you can show to your prospect that, okay, well, this company worked with a marketing agency similar to you and here's the case study. So you want to feed AI with some social proof. Now, on the first part, you understand the prompts that we need to be tracking. The part 2 of the strategy is building our own content. We want to build our own content because we want to be the source for AI. And you should build your own content inventory. And when I say own content inventory, I mean you should have your own content assets, answering to the prompts that we just discussed a couple of minutes ago. There are 2 main reasons why I want you to build your own content inventory. First is because you should be the source. Once you have more topical authority around your topic, AI will see you as a trusted source and will refer to your content looking for an answer. Second, you want to make sure that you train AI with your own content and you feed it with accurate information. So whenever you get mentioned in AI search results, your company is described accurately and you don't let competitors or old reviews control the narrative for you. So now we know that you need to build a content inventory, but what type of content you should be building? I'll use 2 buckets here for content. One for direct impact on AI search, and other one, let's call it indirect impact content. I call it direct impact because content categorized under this group will have a direct impact on AI search by getting you cited, by getting you visible, and other one, indirect impact, because it's not going to give you a visibility, but will support your direct impact content to perform better on AI. Let's start with the direct impact one. You have listicles. Listicles are the single most prominent content format cited by AI chatbots. They make up to nearly 44% of all page types cited by ChatGPT specifically. You may hear some people say listicles are spam, but if you do this right, it works. You want to write listicles for competitor alternatives, and you also want to do the same thing for your category keywords. Let's say again, you're on the project management space. What are the best Asana alternatives if you're competing with Asana? Don't go crazy and do listicles for SEO and another set for AEO for super specific titles, and you create like 100 different variations of the same thing. I see people are doing it, just don't do it. The next format after the listicle, an important important one, because let's call it a how-to format. How-to format is different than listicle format. This type of content is all about using 3 to 5 steps to help the reader understand how your tool can solve the problem your product is selling. Example, if your product is helping people to identify website visitors, then you can write an article on how to identify website visitors and show people how your product can help to do the job. When someone uses the same question on AI search, your company may get visibility. Or it could be a case study format where you write something like, here's how we help, let's say, House of Growth to close 10x more by identifying website visitors. Again, the format here will be how-to style, where you walk your readers through how you help your customers to achieve desired outcome. Now we're going to talk about indirect impact content. These content types might not give you a visibility in AI search straight away, but they will help you to build a topical authority and your main topic and help you to get higher rankings for everything you write on Google and Bing. But you might say, hey John, why do we care about Bing and Google and traditional search? This is old school stuff. Well, it's very important to be on top of the traditional search engines because it increases your retrieval rate. A page at the top of position in ChatGPT's web search results has 58% chance of citation. So yeah, it matters to be on top of the search engines if you want to be sourced for AI. Now, part 3, we're moving on to building off-site mentions to get ROI fast. Actually, you can do this in parallel while you're creating content, or you can even start this before you write content. Building mentions is a fancy name, but it's actually very similar to building backlinks. For each prompt you're targeting, you need to identify the sources each LLM is using, and then from those sources, you need to find the listicle formats and exclude landing pages, home pages, etc., because there's no way that someone can mention you on those. You will most likely see blog posts, Reddit threads, LinkedIn posts, and YouTube videos. For this video, I'm only going to be focused on building mentions on other blogs. Once you identify the blog posts that are feeding AI, you should reach out to each one and ask them to mention you. If those are affiliate websites, they will ask for money, and if they're not, then they will either ask you to mention them in a similar article, or you can propose a new article to them and tell them you're planning to mention them. If you don't have a content inventory, it will be difficult to make an ask because you don't have much you can offer. So pro tip here, if you get mentioned in a listicle, ask them to mention you in the top 3. Since AI usually takes information from only the first part of the page, so the closer you are to the beginning of the article, the more likely that you'll be picked up by AI. Next part, you should start measuring mentions, not just clicks. You can't manage what you don't measure, and the old metrics lie to you here. Clicks are dying, remember. So you track whether AI actually mentions you, you ask ChatGPT, Cloud, and Gemini, your buyer's real prompt on a schedule, and you watch your share of those answers climb. Then you find the next set of prompts, and you run it again. That's the flywheel. As I said earlier, only track the bottom of the funnel high intent prompts, and you should be tracking visibility and citations to make this simple as possible. When you track both, you can see if you're getting mentioned in answers and if you're the one feeding the AI. You want to have both, because you want your buyers to discover you, and you also want AI to accurately describe your company. You can pick any tool of your choice for this. You don't need all the fancy features expensive tools offering. Just pick the one that fits your budget. Look, you might be sitting there wondering where you even stand on AI search. We put together a free AEO roadmap where we look at how visible you currently are in AI search and map out exactly where the gaps are. No charge, link in the description, grab it whenever, then come back, because the one mistake I promised, the one that wastes everyone's time, is still coming. Now, the mistake that I promised, and it's the one that is costing you time and money. The mistake is treating this like a hack. People hear AI search and they go and chase quick win. They pay for a mention here and there, they stuff a page with question headings, they gain one prompt, and then they get a little bit of a bump. The model updates, the bump disappears, and they're back to zero. That's the rental land trap. You don't own anything, so you have to keep paying rent forever. The brands that actually win don't optimize for one prompt. They build genuine topical authority. And once you're that, you don't get cited for one prompt. You get cited for all of them because the AI has decided you're the authority on the topic. You stop renting visibility. You own it. That is the difference between a tactic and a strategy. And it's the whole reason I tell founders to stop asking, how do I rank in ChatGPT this week? And start asking, how do I become the obvious answer in my category long term? The takeaway here is that you should not just see AI search engine optimization as a sprint and get few brand mentions here and there and call it a day. Citations always change. And just because you get a visibility now does not mean that it will be there forever. You still need good SEO foundations. So don't skip that, and don't skip creating a good content part. So here's where we've landed. The brands dominating search in 2026 aren't the ones with the biggest funding, revenue, or domain authority. You need good foundational SEO, good content, strategic brand mentions. If you want to know where you actually stand today, that's the free AEO roadmap I mentioned. We'll show you how visible you are in AI search right now, exactly where your competitors are beating you, and the plan to close the gap over the next 90 days. It's free, link is in the description. The slot for the company AI recommends in your category is open. The only question is whether you take it before your competitor does. I'll see you there.